A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians. Brothers and sisters, I rejoice greatly in the Lord that now at last you revive your concern for me. You were, of course, concerned about me, but lacked an opportunity. Not that I say this because of need, for I have learned, in whatever situation I find myself, to be self-sufficient. I know indeed how to live in humble circumstances. I know also how to live with abundance. In every circumstance and in all things, I have learned the secret of being well fed and of going hungry, of living in abundance and being in need. I have the strength for everything through Him who empowers me. Still, it was kind of you to share in my distress. You Philippians indeed know that at the beginning of the gospel, when I left Macedonia, not a single church shared with me in account of giving and receiving, except you alone. For even when I was at Thessalonica, you sent me something for my needs, not only once, but more than once. It is not that I am eager for the gift. Rather, I am eager for the profit that occurs to your account. I have received full payment and I abound. I am very well supplied because of what I received from you through Epaphroditus, a fragrant aroma, an acceptable sacrifice, pleasing to God. My God will fully supply whatever you need in accord with His glorious riches in Christ Jesus. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Responsorial song. Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
Blessed the man who fears the Lord, who greatly delights in His commands. His posterity shall be mighty upon the earth. The upright generation shall be blessed.
Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
Well for the man who is gracious and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. He shall never be moved. The just one shall be in everlasting remembrance.
Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
His heart is steadfast. He shall not fear. Lavishly he gives to the poor. His generosity shall endure forever. His horn shall be exalted in glory.
Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
Please stand. Alleluia, alleluia.
Alleluia, alleluia.
Jesus Christ became poor, although he was rich, so that by his poverty you might become rich. Alleluia, alleluia.
Good morning. Both our readings speak in one way or another about having and possessing, but from two completely different perspectives. And the one that stayed with me was Paul in the first reading. And he's very clear that he's grateful to the Philippians for their support, their care, and their gifts of love. But then he reflects on the fact that he has learned to live with bounty and live with nothing. And he's learned to do that, he says, because I can do all things through him who strengthens me. And he did one thing in particular that many of us, including myself, don't do. He chose not to cling to what he had. He chose not to cling to what he had. If it was abundance, he rejoiced, but he could let it go. For me, if it's abundance, I'm happy and I want to keep it. I want to keep it. When it became poverty and want, he could live with it. And he could let it go. When I have adversity, I always want to let it go. Always want to let it go. That's the difference between Paul and me. Perhaps between Paul and you. There was nothing he clung to. And because he didn't cling to anything, he could be content in each and every moment of life's journey. Paul said it so simply. I can do all things in the one who strengthens me. He teaches us that if we do not cling, we are much freer. Now, I've had some practice with that myself as a priest, because I was in 6 different parishes while in active ministry. And I was never ready to leave any of those parishes. Never ready to leave. Always wanted to stay. But I had to learn to let them go. And in the surrender, a whole new parade of friends and people came into my life. The only parish I was happy to leave was the last one, because I was retiring. And that was much better than working. We, as we journey, have the choice each and every day to cling or to let go. When it's abundance, the tendency is want to keep. If it's negative, we're happy to surrender. But Paul tells us we have to be willing to do that with all the aspects of life's journey.